Morning, everybody, and welcome back to Doggin It. I'm Willing a Mike, as you guys probably know by now. We got another great episode in store, and I'm really not sure uh, what to expect, but I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Um, Obviously, all you guys were watching the Spanish Open. A lot of stuff, a lot of storylines coming out of there, which I love, and there was a few waves on a number of different fronts. But there was a gentleman out there who made a pretty uh, pretty nice little wave with before his match with Shane. Got my attention. Reached out to him. Very nice guy. Doing some good things for pool out there in the UK. And so we reached out to him and decided to bring him on the show. Usually, I like to do stuff like a little more real time. And had I not had him blocked from the page, then I probably would have reached out sooner. But it was yeah, better late than never. But let's just bring him on. And good morning, everyone, and thanks. I see all your comments on there. The way we'll have the chat set up is we ought to be able to see them. So if you guys have any questions throughout the show, feel free to post them in there. And thanks everybody for tuning in. So we're gonna bring in DarksidePool and his partner Palpatine via the UK. Boys, how are you?
Yeah, we're good. Good, thanks, Mike.
Yeah, very good, Mike. Thank you for having us on your show. I've been looking at your show for quite a while now, and thank you very much for entertaining us and giving us a platform to speak to you.
It's my pleasure. So break down this relationship here, because all we saw at the Spanish Open, boys, is we saw Dark Side over here coming out in the Undertaker outfit, pre match with Shane. So break down y'all's relationship and how you guys got hooked up, and what you guys got going on.
Right, you take that one, Matt.
Yeah. So I've known Gareth a long time. Funny story, if you want. I mean, first time I noticed played him when I met him, I was playing him in a tournament, and I think I took a shot, safety shot, played it, hooked him, and he's walking to the table. I'm standing there looking to see if I've hooked him, and the first thing is, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, I'm at the table. Like, you sit down. I'm like, who's this guy? Like, what the fuck? But can you remember that guy?
I certainly can, mate. Yeah, I think that was in Nottingham.
I know. And I'm thinking, who the fucking hell's this guy? But off the back of that, we got to known each other a long time, and so we sort of come up with this bit of an idea again. I mean, we used to do a few things back in the day, dark side promotions, things like that. He's always been the dark side, Gareth has, but we, off the back of his UK Open qualifier at Red Hill, great club actually, in London, but he was interviewing with Imran Majid after one of his matches, I think, and it was bizarre. He just wasn't answering any question that Imran was asking him, and in the end he just walked off and left Imran hanging, and everyone was like, "Whoa, what's it? This is great," and I'm thinking, wow. So then I met Gareth again at another tournament a few weeks after, and we had a chat about things, and we thought, well, we've got to get this going. We've got to do something about this and get some more awareness for pool again in the UK, because at the moment it's pretty stagnant. GB9 Tour isn't running, maybe going again soon. We'll have to wait and see. And then we've just come up with all these ideas off the back of this, and we'll get this going, and we're hitting the ground running. And Gareth, I mean, take over. I mean, fill me in, fill everybody in.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say basically what happened was, just to go on a bit further from what Matt was saying, Mike, I'm absolutely full of confidence in my game, and I know I had a little situation in Lugo where it didn't quite go to plan in regards to the result I was looking for, but I can certainly back it up with my cue. And on the strength of that, I just feel that there's no personalities in the game, or there's not enough personalities in the game, and for that, I like to cause a bit of friction on the table and with the atmosphere in order to bring some excitement to the game. And I had an opportunity there with what Matt was just saying, to have an interview at the Total 9 Ball event run by Matchroom in April. And it caused a massive stir, and it went viral. It had sort of probably 50,000-60,000 views within probably 4 or 5 days.
You're talking about the Imran one. How did I miss this? You got to send me that link whenever we're done. I got to check this out.
Oh, absolutely. And the amount of people that approached me in London at the Matchroom event in London at the Copper Box, shaking my hand and all sorts of things, saying, "Well done." We couldn't believe you've left Imran standing there, and I felt a bit bad for Imran because we're mates and all that. But absolutely, it was just impulse. Really, it was nothing There's nothing personal in the relationship, but it was a fantastic interview. It only lasted about 2 minutes, Mike. But yeah, you've got to see it, and there it morphed into what we are and what we're doing today.
Well, off the back of that interview, the best thing about that, and you'll see it when I send it you, Mike, but it was like, I'm back. The dark side's back. I've been in hiding for a while, and I'm back. And then we this is where it all sort of instigated.
It's funny that you mentioned backing it up with your cue, because it was after the fact, after that whole incident in Lugo, did I go back and hear that this guy can play really good, and then I went back and looked, and I think it was the UK, and that you and I just asking some buddies of mine from out there, and they confirmed it, and listen, I'm 100% with you in that Pool needs more personalities. It needs more, little stunts like this.
Sure.
But where number one, where did this idea come out to, come out in this outfit, and how did you land on that setup whenever it was time?
Well, we both had a bit of input, but start it off, Gareth.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we both had a bit of input, but once the draw had come out, it was an opportunity that, like, realistically, like I said, I've been back on the pool scene for about a year now. I took a sort of 10-year hiatus, but I've never lost the enthusiasm for it. I was just doing other things, and basically, what happened was me and Matt had a chat about it, and we waited. Once the draw come out, I knew realistically, after being back in the game for about a year, that if I was to play Shane, realistically, it should have been Shane 9, me 6 or 7. That's the reality of it. So what I was going to do, because of where I'm at after playing for about a year, that's what I felt I was comfortable with. So I wasn't going to miss the opportunity to promote our brand, DarksidePool. And then, because without a doubt, it was going to be a TV game, because me being from England and being a mouthy guy like I am, on and off the table, in regards to, no, but when I say mouthy, I mean it in a good way. I want to challenge people on and off the table. It was an opportunity to promote our brand. And me and Matt got together a week before, when we saw the draw with Shane. We thought, hang on, something's got to be done here. So again, it was just a question that me and Matt decided, look, DarksidePool, we've got to go with that theme. He said to me, I'll leave it to you. You decide what you want to do. And he didn't know what I was going to do until it went live at that moment on Sky, on the YouTube Matchroom website. He didn't have a clue what I was doing. And then when I'd done that, he couldn't believe what was going on, and nobody could. So the good thing is I surprised my partner as well.
You must have done some shopping leading up to it, because this isn't one of those things that you're just grabbing out of the closet or getting out of the travel bag. Yeah, for sure, Mike. What happened was, basically about 3 days before, like I say, I decided to get a couple of little sort of outfits. Like I bought a red cape, a black one, a brown one, and I thought, look, let's have these, and we'll go with one of these. Yeah, options. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Amazon coming quite well. I felt that was going to be something like that, because I was looking at the WWF stuff. The Randy Savages and the Hulk Hogans and the Undertakers and things like that.
Oh man, you're right. You're bringing me back to
me too, Mike. That's what I was looking at. Yeah.
Gene Oakland and Bob. You're Gene Oakland. I'm like Bobby Heenan, I think. But no, I mean, I had an inkling that he was going to do something, but I mean, I'm sitting there. I couldn't go to Spain. I'm too busy at the moment doing loads of other things. But I'm waiting on the stream. I'm sitting there. I'm like,
So you knew it was coming, Matt. You knew.
No, not like this way. Not in this sense. Yeah. It was yeah, I know something, but not like this. I'm like, I'm sitting here thinking, whoa.
Yeah.
And it was, but to be honest, I mean, it was brilliant. I mean, it certainly gave them some. It was a talking point, wasn't it? I mean, it was brilliant.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
How did you get through the red tape, or did everyone just kind of like stand and watch you walk by and didn't want to tell you nothing? Or there's a dress code there, I'd imagine, and I'm guessing that might not have been within those parameters.
Yeah. Well, no, what I've done, Matt, Mike, what I've done is I'd pre-warned the security at the front that I'm going to go down to the restroom and come back with an item of clothing on, and rest assured it's me. And I said, you'll know by my shoes. That's basically what I said to them, and they said, yeah, okay, no problem. But then what I had done is I was quite fortunate, really, because of the situation. Just taking it back a step. because of the situation in the copper box where I was so close to taking out. Well, I'm sure we're going to get to that, but I was so close to taking out Skylar Woodward. I played fantastic, and because of that, they knew that they knew of me at Matchroom, like the security and things like that. So that was a good little, a good stepping stone in order to get where I wanted. And the cameraman was following me about a bit because he liked the dark side shirt. He just liked the approach. He liked my attitude towards people. Well, that's what he told me anyway. So again, I tipped the cameraman off. I tipped the cameraman off that something unusual was going to happen, to be prepared. And the security knew I was coming through. And as I was coming through, Mike, everybody around was just stopped and their jaws were dropped, and I just carried on walking.
Yeah,
and funny enough,
I'm watching on TV and I'm thinking, this guy's off his rocker. Who the hell is this guy playing? Like, what is going on? But it got you talking. It got you interested. It got you engaged. Then I follow that up with looking at the shirt that you had that we're showing everyone, and that it's brilliant. You got people in the door. That maybe wouldn't have otherwise.
Absolutely. Well, a good comment from Emily Fraser afterwards. She said that basically she was quite impressed the way that I drew a crowd. So that was encouraging for me. But I find that sort of thing normal anyway, Mike. Drawing a crowd, I've got no issues with that. And I do like I do like people to watch. So that was a nice compliment to be observed from somebody else. But it's actually something that I naturally can do.
Well, I mean, it wasn't anything too controversial, but at the same time, it got people talking and stirred up, and got people excited and smiling and sharing, which is great. And anything causing a buzz, that's not. I mean, the good thing is you had clothes on, so you could have gone out there, the other way. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little funny comment just came from the referee. The referee was about to stop me because he thought I was one of these protesters, and some people even thought I was a terrorist walking into the arena.
Yeah. So I saw a post on Christina Zalteva's Facebook, and somebody had commented, "Did you see that guy this morning?" And her response was, "Yeah, I thought he was a terrorist." And I saw that snooker event where those, they go out there and they rip the orange powder or whatever it was on there, and that's probably what I would have thought, but
that's what they were scared of.
Listen, I wouldn't have said a word. I would have gotten my phone out, hit the record button, and just and got the popcorn ready for whatever was going to go down, man.
Absolutely, and many people done just that. It was phenomenal. It really was. And then and again, I don't know if you. I'm sure you saw the part where I done the Darth Vader chokehold against some guy in the crowd. He was a nice guy. He played ball because I obviously had to set that up just prior, and his reward was to get one of my limited edition shirts that I make limited edition shirts for each tournament I go to, and I hand them out. So that was one of his prizes, and it was great afterwards because he was wearing it around the arena for a couple of days, and went down. He was the local pool hall owner where we could go and practice, so that was quite nice.
I saw that y'all had a lot of sales of shirts after all this started. Is that right?
Absolutely. It went for probably about 72 hours. It went absolutely ballistic, and people were asking again. We've got the DarksidePool hats now. People were asking what other merchandise that we do, and it was at that time it was just shirts, and but now we've moved into the hats, and just obviously we've got all the stickers and things like that for people to put on their cases and things like that. But everywhere I'm going now,
you're like the band Kiss. Just slap the logo on everything.
Absolutely, give it a go.
Yeah. So what do you guys got going on with DarksidePool? What's the history of it, and what direction are you guys trying to take it? Is it solely like just more UK based, or is it more of just global stuff? Is it media stuff? Give me a breakdown here.
Yeah, well, it's raising awareness, Mike. I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, the UK pool scene's stagnant at the moment. We've got little tournaments here and there, but there's no dedicated tour anymore. Hopefully that's going to change soon. It'd be a shame if it doesn't, but that's where we're at the moment. We're trying to get some awareness again, with some interest in the game. And
sure,
we're not trying to sell millions of things here. We're not bothered about that, if we're being honest. I mean, we're just trying to get an interest, a bit of a brand going, a bit of awareness, and we're approaching it in a lot of different angles. And mainly instigated, and you're probably going to ask with the Buffalo theme, what's behind all that? And I'm sure Gareth will fill you in on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just carrying on from what Matt's saying there. At Lugo, Skylar Woodward was fantastic. He was really helping us with the brand. Every time he was on the live Matchroom Sky Sports event or on YouTube on the Matchroom YouTube channel, he was showing our brand. I don't know if you saw that, Mike. I don't know if you. He was showing our stickers, and he kept saying DarksidePool and things like that. So absolutely, hats off to Skylar Woodward and a few others, isn't it? Yeah. He's a great guy. And there's another guy in the UK who's running the Total 9 ball, Phil Wildman. He's another one who was just helping us out and just saying DarksidePool. He's a very good player, actually, Phil. We'll talk about him as we go along. But in regards to the brand, we're just, as Matt just said, we're creating awareness. I've got the full confidence to everywhere I go to promote DarksidePool. And what it's doing now is because of the traction and the views we're actually getting. We've only been going now for about sort of 6 or 7 weeks, and we've had hundreds of thousands of views on our Facebook, our Instagram, TikTok, the lot. We've had, and the good thing is we're now getting players coming up to us, wanting us to help promote them, which can only be a good thing, Mike. You know, we're not looking to be promoters at this stage, but they're happy to get involved with a brand because they can see what we're doing is getting exposure for them potentially. So that's
the Buffalo, Gareth.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let me tell you about the Buffalo. If you have a look behind me here, Mike, I've got a couple of shirts up here. Oh, no, actually, there's no Buffalo up there. But basically, this Dark Side one is all about the power with the fist. And this one's got a Darth Vader on it. But a lot of our image at the moment is around the Buffalo. Now, what the Buffalo entails is this. If a lion... if you go to Africa, a lion will go and get a buffalo and he takes it down, correct? That's basically what the theme is with a lion and a buffalo. So what we've done now, I always say, I've been taken down like a buffalo, or he got taken down like a buffalo. And people wonder what it is. And that's what it is, Mike, basically. When people fail, they've been taken down, and hence the buffalo. And the buffalo at the moment has got so many, we've got buffalo shots, we've got buffalo misses, so many themes on TikTok with the theme buffalo. And it's great, you know. So when I lost to Shane, effectively, I went down like a buffalo. And we've got buffalo merchandise to go with it.
It's pretty brilliant, man. You guys, you know, and I like that idea of going and getting exposure and all that for other players, because it's like one hand washes the other. You know,
absolutely
it's mutually beneficial.
Yeah, for sure. And I say we're getting the players coming up to us now, and I say for us it's great. It's great for us to help them, to help Paul. You know, and I play. I've got a very busy schedule coming up at the moment with some big pool events coming up over the next month. So again, there's going to be. I know all the players. I know the Sukes, the Fyans, the Majids, the Kazakis, all of them. So I've got a great approach and a great rapport with these guys that can help the grassroots of what we're trying to achieve moving forward.
It's a unique way, and that's what I respect more than anything, because I love people that just aren't afraid to go against the grain and create their own path, you know, and then use that and then capitalize on that, more importantly, right? Go and use that and parlay it into, you know, now getting some traction when you go out and play other events. So what's on the radar for you guys? What's the future looking like in the next few months?
Well, we've got something new planned, don't we? And what we were talking about, the Buffalo shots.
Oh yeah.
We can't. Well, we won't give you too much about that just yet, but look out for that. I mean, you're going to kick that off possibly at Scotland, I think, in a couple of weeks, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right. I've got an event in Scotland, a Matchroom event in Scotland next week, and we've got Buffalo shots coming up. So we'll certainly keep you informed about what we're going to do. But it's a bit under the radar at the moment. But Mike, it's going to be a hit. It's going to be a winner. And it's going to be something that everybody's going to want to get involved with. So that's in that regard. That's what we've got planned in the interim. But straight after that, I'm on the Euro tour, which is in Slovenia in Europe, a week later, and then straight after that, I'm hoping the Matchroom in Fulda in Germany. Although that's not been confirmed yet, so it's for me to be playing in it. So I'm hoping that there could be a spot that comes up when Matchroom put some wild cards, or not wild cards, put it out there if they haven't got enough players. So I'm looking out for that one because I didn't manage to get in that one. I was too slow.
Yeah, they've been selling out pretty quickly. But you know, I'd imagine that with the buzz that you are bringing in a positive way, you know, and just getting people talking, and not only that, but you can back it up with your cue. You know, you mentioned that match with Sky, but out in the UK Open. But let's talk about that for a second. What was that like, and what was the score line out there?
The draw came up. I had a very tough draw in the very first round. I played a guy called Lee Teng from Taipei, and I just managed to. Unfortunately, I lost out 9-8 to that one. It was 8-all, and I went in off, so that put me onto the losers side. And then I played a couple of British guys, and I destroyed them. And that was brilliant. That got my confidence up. And then it was Skylar Woodward, and I knew I was in great form anyway because I'm one of these players, Mike. If I'm playing well in practice, I'm going to play well on the table, and if I'm not playing well in practice, I'm not going to play well on the table. So that's just the way my game's been. And I was in great form leading up to that game against Sky, and he went 5-3 up, something like that, and then I took him. I went 6-5 up against him, and I played absolutely brilliant, Paul. And then at 6-all, I had a great chance. Even he said, and Jeremy Jones, who sat there watching it, was one shot I played with the rest. I had to put huge amount of English on the ball to get my position, but unfortunately, because they're brand new cloths, it just slid off even further. And after that, 6-all went to 8-6 because naturally, when you've got a golden opportunity of 6-8 and a 9 to win, and then you miss that because of it, your opponent gets up and that's it. You know that he's so happy to get back to the table. But Sky afterwards, he gave me the best compliment. He said to me, he said, "Look, I didn't realise you could play that well." He said, "I've been watching you practice." He said, "And I thought this was some sort of joke." He said, "You've really, really got my attention." You know that, and that's in word for word. And then Jeremy Jones straight after said, he goes, "You played brilliant, fantastic." And between them, they said, "How haven't they heard of me before?" You know, and I said, "Oh, I've just been low key, mate." You know what I mean? He said, "Low key with your attitude and what you do." But the reality of it was, Mike, I was just off the scene for a few years, but now I'm back. I'm ready for him.
It's one thing to be a character; it's another thing to get their respect. Which is great.
Absolutely,
and
it's probably the best I've seen you play that match.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of a lot of the shots in that, I was sitting there at the side and I was watching. I mean, some of them shots you were taking out in that, but they were big pressure shots, and I'm sitting there thinking, you ain't gonna get this, and you kept getting them. Yeah. And the irony was, the easiest shot you had was the shot that you missed with the rest. I mean, we all said, why'd you play it like that? Oh well, I thought that's what I had to do, but really, in hindsight, it's just what you see, isn't it, when you're out there? But we've all been there and done it.
Yeah, but again, the greatest compliment was, as Skylar said, he goes, Gareth, he said, that ball cost you the match. So, and then just moving on one step further, Mike, when I played Shane and I went out there and done what I done with the dark side image, he said to me after, he goes, "I know you lost there, Gareth." He said, "But Shane," he said, he didn't know what he was up against. He said he took it all as some sort of joke. He said, "I could see that you were struggling a little bit," and I explained to him why. He said, "But he didn't know who he was up against." He goes, "Because you can absolutely play this game." And again, it was another compliment. And so mutual respect there with me with him and him with me. So absolutely.
Well, that goes further than anything. I feel like and like I said, it's about taking that combination of great play paired with genius marketing and having some balls and going out there and figuring out a way to get some rhythm with it all and continuing on with that path. I love that though, man. I do, and that's the coolest part about it is just getting their respect more than anything, on the table, and then so Absolutely. Let me ask you guys, you mentioned about the state of UK pool. Obviously Matchroom is based out of the UK. So how do you get some sort of like something going out there? What's hindering it? What are some opportunities to kind of get that UK pool scene back going?
I think the big problem is just locations and venues. I mean, it's a logistical big thing to run a tournament or a tour of say 128 or more players regularly at a dedicated event location. It's a massive thing to get the table. I don't know if you know, but when the GB 9-ball tour was running, the tables they used, I believe they had them custom made by Sam Billiards. So they were one-piece slate tables that could pull in and out, set up really quickly from a logistical point of view to get the tournament set up really quickly. But then they've got to be stored somewhere.
So those weren't in pool rooms then? Those are like in just ballrooms?
No, I mean, they were... Yeah, I mean, them tables that they used on the GB 9-ball tour, I'm pretty sure they had them sort of dedicated for the tour. You may be able to buy one from Sam if you wanted to, but they were spec to to be in and out quickly. And from a point of view, it's just a logistical thing. You've got big events, big venues. You need to host them. There's not many of them around. There's a cost, of course, to it. I mean, this is all going to cost money. And also the reality as well. I mean, in the UK, you've probably got 30, 40, 50 players, like really higher standard, and a lot of the rest of the players, they enjoy the game. They've got a chance, but realistically, unless they have a really good day, they may not make the semis, the quarters, the final. And there's just not enough interest in players to get going, I think, again. But I think there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes at the moment. Maybe the GB9 Ball Tour will carry on. I know Ben Phil Wildman's sort of thinking about possibly trying to put together a proposal for a kind of tour event, but again, it's where do you hold it? I mean, that's Gareth. What's your take on that? Probably the same, I guess.
Well, again, another big problem is the fact there's, like I say, when you look around Europe and you look around the States or Canada, there's always money added. In the UK, they're just paying for entry fees, Mike. So again, that's a big hindrance that a lot of people, they weigh up the value of what the organizer is going to take out of the pot and what they're going to actually receive. And so that's a big factor. And also the clubs in the UK have just, some of them are absolutely dire. They really are. They've got no quality on the table. A lot of people see that and they don't want to play in venues like that for that reason. But the ones that are very, very good, we've got what I've got to name them and give them a little plug, Mike. We've got Solihull in Birmingham. Daryl Garland, he's just fantastic. He looks after the club, looks after the players. Brilliant club. Then we've got Russell down in Raging Bull in High Wycombe, which is North London. Russell just loves the players. He'll do anything for them. He makes sure the standard of the tables are second to none. And then we've got a place where I play out as well, which is in Redhill, the Brooklyn Bar and Billiards. It's probably the best place in England for the quality of the tables, and that's run by Chelsea and Steve. So again, we've only got these three real venues that we can play out of. So again, it's a tough call to get people to come from north to south to central. It really is, Mike. It's a tough call.
Look, like anything else, I feel like you've got some buzz going. Now it's just time to put the boots to the ground and do the work. Start knocking on doors, talk to sponsors, get some leverage that way, and just kind of like grassrooted a little bit, and build it kind of organically or rebuild it, I should say, and find a way. Right, you guys found a way to do what you guys are doing, and it's the same principle when it comes to, rebuilding that event. It sounds like there's a lot of play, or that tour, or a tour rather. Sounds like there's a good, quality of players out there, and it's just a matter of giving them, chances to play more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I say the only tour we've got on the go at the moment is the Total 9 Ball Tour. That's the only one that exists, and that's run. We've mentioned a guy called Phil Wildman. He's the guy who's been running that tour for 10 years, and hats off to him. And just recently, he's been getting some seriously good results in Europe. He took out in London. He took out Albin Ushan quite convincingly, really. And he's now been mopping up the local tournaments, like $1,500 here, $1,500 there. So again, it's good. It's good exposure that he's doing well now. So it's good for his tour, and we're happy to help him out in regards to promoting him, in regards to giving him a platform to let people know of his results. So that's one thing we will be looking into, Mike, moving forward. People can come to us and let us know how they're getting on, and we'll use our platform to expose them. Give them exposure. That's a better word.
Let us know where we can follow you guys on. What are all the platforms and the tags that we can see all your stuff on?
So we got.
Well, I'd like to tell you that. I'd like to tell you that, Mike. But I'll tell you the way I messed up the computer. I think I better leave that to Matt.
Yeah.
Yes, we started off on TikTok. If you just look DarksidePool up on TikTok, we've started off quite funny actually. I mean, I've got a table that is available to me whenever that I practice. I've invited Gareth down to take some shots, and we had a bit of fun with it. Little coaching shots that you may have seen them, just playing stupid shot. Well, trying to play a shot in a really serious way, but it was just completely wrong. This is how the topspin shot, and it was just completely
And then drawing
opposite,
it
but
back.
we were like deadpan straight face. And the one of them, he's played like we've got it set up. He's playing the ball in the middle. This is how you do a screw back shot. And he tops it in. And the funny thing is, you hear the cue ball going in off in the other corner pocket off camera, and he just walks off. It's brilliant. I was trying not to laugh behind the camera. So we started off on TikTok. We built that up. I've done a lot of videos. I mean, I've done a few myself. I don't know if you've seen the Z shot. Do you see the Z shot recreation I did, the Efren one?
I don't think
I recreated
so. No.
that. Yeah, no, I recreated that. Efren Reyes' Z shot, and the irony
Yep.
is, I mean, I didn't realize, but I put the videos back to back, and the way the balls go is exactly the same as Efren's, and even the way the 5-ball drops in the corner pocket, it comes off both
Perfect.
knuckles, and it drops in. It's unbelievable how similar it is. It took me about really 20 minutes to get that right. So we're doing that. We're building up TikTok. We've got Facebook, of course, DarksidePool. We're on Twitter. Join the Buffalo. Had to go with that one. On Twitter, Instagram's the same as well. So I mean, you can look us up. You just Google DarksidePool or one word, you'll hear us up
Yeah,
on all
we're a
them
top
things.
search.
But yeah. I mean, it's all fell in quite nicely, really.
We'll make sure and put some of these tags and pages. Just send me all the links, and we'll post them up on Windows Open along with sharing the page. You know what you guys doing, what you guys are doing, and helping out other players along that way using your platform. It's the same way with, you know, what I would do. I'd extend my hand out to y'all as well. So, boys, I appreciate you for coming on. We look forward to seeing more of you in the future. Keep on causing more waves. Do your thing. Have a good time and play well. You know, and thanks a lot for coming on the show.
Thanks
Mike,
for everything, Mike.
Thank you very much, Mike. Darksidepool, Darkside. Love you, Mike.
Later, boys.
Take care, mate.
Thanks a lot, Mike.